name was Barbara Hepworth. She asked to be referred to as a sculptor, never a sculptress. And despite her insistence on being treated equally, her work was overshadowed by her male contemporaries. But today, almost half a century after her death, she is finally getting the spotlight she deserves, with the first ever exhibition devoted entirely to her work in Paris.
Barbara Hepworth is probably one of the foremost British sculptors of the 20th century. She was a contemporary of Henry Moore, and her work had an equal international reach and popularity. But sadly, she's never been shown in Paris, which is extraordinary, and she's little known in France.
Alors d'une part, elle n'a...
On the one hand, her works have never been bought by French museums, which is a big hole in their collections. And on the other hand, I think she was a bit overshadowed by the bigger names, more internationally known, or more promoted abroad like Henry Moore for England, or Jeanne Arp for France.
Though little known in France, Hepworth, who spent time with artists like Henry Moore, Picasso and Kandinsky, revolutionized sculpture with what art critics called a new aesthetic sensibility. Born in Yorkshire in 1903, Hepworth withstood both World War I and the Second Industrial Revolution. Unlike her contemporaries, whose work was often centered on construction and machinery, Hepworth's abstract sculptures were more poetic. She was inspired by nature and its relationship with mankind. And for a post-World War I society, this new sensibility conveyed an impression of peace and purity.
I find her art has a particular poetry about it, notably with the contrasts between the wood and painted surfaces, for example, the use of string in her sculptures. And I think this distinctive poetry isn't a part of every artist from this style, biomorphic or organic.
At a time when man's relationship with nature is at its lowest, Hepworth's sculptures are today more relevant than ever. As art critic Herbert Red said once, Hepworth's work transcends the ugliness of modern life and evokes a vision of radiant, calm perfection.